you, wherever you may be located at, even if it's not morning time. I just want you to know that this is the day that the Lord has made. I am going to be glad and rejoice in it. Kindness and love manifest abundance. Yes, I said it. Let me tell you about this particular message that I want to speak on today. Because of God's divine direction that have been giving me instructions through beautiful souls, okay, that have left messages for me and opportunities to grow and to be inspired. I want to just say this much, friends. We all have an opportunity to live life how we want to live it, but it is definitely what you call, especially secrets and powers in those particular, directions when you are led by God. I want to talk about manifestation and abundance and about living in kindness and love because this truly have been something that has been helpful to me. Now, I am just here being a friend. I love talking about the power of prayer. I love growing in the power of prayer. I love correcting, okay, the things that I need to have corrected in my life and still working on. Is a process, but I am thankful to be living in the present of the now to receive the things that I need to receive. I want my friends to understand too. I am sharing my life journey because I can, and I am asking my friends to understand that this is not your life journey. This is not your story. This is the journey that I'm living in, and I am actually just choosing to share about this kindness, this love, the power to forgive. This has been a process for me in life. So I feel real good about myself by being obedient and moving along in this earthly realm, getting everything that I need from out of life lessons. Good morning, beautiful souls. I really appreciate everybody in here coming in here. I see the loves from the side that is showing me the hearts and things. I really appreciate that. It's a beautiful thing when you can have friends that possibly you never ever met in life, but they can come into YouTube space and just bless your soul. So thank you so much, friends. I appreciate you. Remember to thumbs up the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new to the space. But I want to talk about, how the love and kindness and how it has blessed my life and how God is redirecting and completely showing me, that listen, everything that came into my life, this is real life, friends. Everything that came into my life, especially in this year of 2025, because I want to be very what you call honest with my friends in this particular space, because a lot of times we turn on or we look at the device and we listen either for the excitement or either for the entertainment. But I want this space to be a blessing to individuals that need blessings in their life. But this year of 2025, I had some challenges in my life that allowed me to know that if I don't stay close to God and if I don't keep my hand in God's hand, my whole life is being dictated and guided on my actions and my reactions. And I definitely had to, what you call, get a real understanding what was kindness and what is love according to the Lord's will, and what is it, the direction that I needed to choose to walk in. I am so glad that I embraced and I dug deeper in order to understand the power of forgiveness and how it look and how you walk in it, even when things appear to be that it's not working out in your favor. Don't you know that I learned that everything was working out for my highest good? And by me understanding that, the more information began to drop in my particular path, the more individuals began to show up in my particular, journey, and by expressing themselves to say that, listen, life is really a lesson. We didn't come here just to say that everything is going to be perfect. We're here to learn some things, to undo some things, and especially to know that you're always winning. It kept coming to me this whole particular year of 2025, but it was coming to me before 2025, but heavily it played a role in my life in 2025. I was left some information years ago from a teacher that was in my life, and that actually had given me some information and to allow me to know that literally everything subconsciously, okay, that we are feeding our mindset can have a big effect upon our life. And if we don't understand the power of our faith in our subconscious mind that directs and lead and guide us along with the Holy Spirit, because if you don't feed that particular Holy Spirit by allowing the Holy Spirit, God, divine power to come into your life and redirect things through our subconscious thinking, then guess what? We will continue, meaning myself, maybe not you, friend, but individuals that have been tapped in and tuned in and decided to say, you know what, I'm going to surrender your all, meaning your life, your issues, your problems, your challenges, those big mountains that seem like, why are they here? When you begin to now want to understand, what shall I do at this moment? And that's what happened to me in 2025. It's like that I had to reposition myself to understand, because I had those individuals, friends in my life, and I'm going to be honest, and there's no negative reflection, I would say, against them. I had to see and understand this is not their journey, and they're not living in this particular, life for me. I'm living for myself. God sent me here to undo some things just as well as their life. But my particular journey, I'm very expressive about this, is that I know my journey is to help individuals, okay, and to allow them to understand. And when I say help by explaining about peace, light, and love, and the power to forgive is nothing of what our natural eyes can even imagine, okay, what the real understanding of what it means. Because what we're giving in this earthly realm to overcome and to undo, it will allow you to not to even want to touch it, to not want to be bothered with it, and to shut the door and say, I'm not dealing with it. That's what happened to me until one day when my soul began to stir a little bit faster within my body and say, you can't even get from out of this particular lesson. It's here and it's not going anywhere. So that point I began to say, okay, God, let me just allow the process to happen and learn and grow from it. Through the learning process, what I learned was that once I start resisting, and when I say resisting, start resisting the things that what was coming at my way, okay, in real life, the things that was being said, the things that hurted me to the core. And when I say to the core, it was just my ego. It was just my flesh in the way. But the minute I began to say, okay, let me take these lessons and pour repeatedly in my subconscious mind, and to know that, listen, this is only a lesson and God want me to achieve, okay, this particular victory, that I know that I am in right alignment to understand this lessons and the work. When I began to repeatedly just say these things, and daily as I was waking up in the morning time, praying, speaking life, over my situation, over my entire body, until whereby it began to transform in my mindset. It didn't take one day, it took multiple times, and I constantly keep, being an encouragement to my own mindset. And then it was like the Holy Spirit pulled back an invisible curtain to whereby I can see spiritually in these spiritual, airways, to whereby it wasn't just me dealing with this situation of the mindset, the whereby it can get trapped up and it can be held up for years when you don't walk in peace, light, and love, and the power to forgive. And God began to show me how the enemy can plant seeds, okay, upon, individuals' homes, individuals' life, in the workspaces, okay, and relationships, okay, and children, okay, as well. When you have a family, how the enemy can come in and put a discord in it and say, now that these situations have been done to you in personal areas, I want you to latch on, and I want you to now to not let it go, because you know what they did, you seen what they did, and you seen how they operated. When these things begin to be shown to me in that spiritual atmosphere and everything, then I realized that everything is a lesson, and it is designed to teach us the proper way of how to break the cycles and understand the power of peace, light, and love, and the power to forgive. The principles that God have left us, I began to realize I made my own life difficult because of my ego that was bigger than the spirit of the living God that breathed in me every day, and that wanted to take authority over me, my ego, so that I could not transform and become the best version of me right now, to share my own story, my own testimony, and to give others life. A lot I realized and I understood, when people are looking for healing and when they need what you call a revelation, there is normally things that is going on within, okay, that has not been dealt with. These are just my thoughts and from my experience, what the Spirit of the Lord showed me. When individuals are dealing with issues and when they need actually healing, there are some inward things or generation of cycles, certain things that may not can, be broken, because this is God path that God say, I sent you here to live with this. I sent you here so that you can understand that you are still winning, even if you think it's not broken, but I'm giving you life. And what I'm saying is that when sickness fall on individuals and they trying to get an understanding why is their life is centered around sickness and everything, if you know that you have repented, and you know that you're truly living in peace, light, and love, and the power to forgive, and nothing is in your way, nothing is being attached to you, then possibly that lesson through you understand that you are healed, even if, okay, on the, outside and inwardly, okay, that things are affecting your body, want to make you think you're not healed. But if God is giving you a lifespan to live through your healing, come on, divine power, and speak this morning. You can be thankful that God has given you the energy to live on divine timing, as well as I am so thankful that God divine timing is completely different from my thoughts and my ways. So I take this particular information and I began to apply it to myself. And God said, you wouldn't have a actually real purpose if you didn't have a lesson, okay, in this life to get and to understand. You will live life on your time and how you want to live it without even acknowledging me. And when God began to pour into me, he said, daughter, that's why the power of unforgiveness, to forgive, not to stay in that unforgiveness part, but to forgive. That's why it registered heavy in you, because your cycles of life and journey have came and it pointed at you and say, now I'm going to test you. I am going to try you in these areas. And with the permission of the Most High, saying, try her, because I know she's equipped and I know that she will get the lesson, and I know that she will be teachable enough to spread this peace, light, and love. She will not hold it as a secret as if it's something that is difficult to get. She will express it to individuals and let individuals know that it's nothing too hard for God. And the power of kindness. Kindness opens so many doors and it put favor upon your life if you know that you walk in it and love. Kindness will set you completely different from your other life that you used to walk into that was so hard, okay, the whereby you were praying. You probably even fast about things that you want to happen in your life because you wanted to see true manifestation. Well, God began to show me that, listen, I am going to show you how this power works by you simply now giving the information that comes from me to speak unto other individuals' life, but is not to be played with. Oh boy, did I understand that real quickly, because sometimes God can give you a glimpse, okay, of the divine power just to allow you to know that I'm real and I'm real, real. Not only the breath that I have given you, I'm real enough to redirect anyone's life and to show you how real the power that has been sent for and left for everybody to utilize. I'm saying this to say this to you, friends. That particular power that lives within you, and that you know that it's power that come from God, the creator that created you, that rule the universe and the atmospheres, the stars, the moons, that allow plant to grow, that allow you to be fed on a daily basis, okay? Eating, okay, the things that you choose to eat, the things that you want to eat, and possibly, okay, changing your lifestyle for the better. That is a higher power that is moving in the face of the earthly realm. And I realized it when this stuff became what you call a free meal. And when I say a free meal, a spiritual meal to eat from, I begin now to say, God, I can no longer allow things to weight me down because you have shown me in this life tests and challenges will come, but when you keep your hand in God's hand, God will give you the secret things that belong only to God that can do the impossible. There are some things that not only that I know that God have ministered and showed me in this 2025. God have even showed you some things, friends, because you're that particular divine soul that wanted more. You're that particular divine soul that needed some answers. And God have given you the answers freely. God spoke to you. But what the thing that I had to understand was that, listen, there are two what you call roads that any of us can walk on. We can go from the flesh, or we can go from the spiritual realm, or we can try to mix it. But when I realized that the road to right alignment was doing what God wanted me to do, and it was all about, living and understanding how good it get. That's why I can truly say now, when I used to hear others say that everything works out for your good, for your highest good, and there is nothing too hard for God. That is a true statement for my life right now. Everything, friend, that you're possibly going through or experiencing right now, look at it that it's a lesson to be learned. The beautiful thing that I love about life is that chances and opportunities is giving to us all. And when I say they're giving to us all, it is power, okay? When we walk in God holiness, God divine power to reposition ourselves and to receive the things that God wants us to receive. There is beauty in being humble, beauty in harmony, beauty in the things that now that you're rethinking your subconscious mind that waits for you patiently to feed it the good things that it needs. Because don't you know, whatever you feed your soul, that's what your soul is going to live on. I began to feed my soul those positive things. It made no difference how the troubling things may have looked. I kept going. I kept living. I kept believing until one day my soul said, you cannot quit now, because you cannot change the way now how you know that this divine power is working. You see it. You know what to do. I would say to my friends, if you know that the power of prayer is something that you need on a daily basis, continue to load yourself up daily. Feed your soul what it needs. Our souls need to be fed daily in things. I want my friends to know in this season of life, you are blessed. God divinely created you and made you uniquely. Embrace who you are and the power of kindness and the power of love, and allow, okay, your present of the right now to be even more effective and to shine. Somebody needs you today. Somebody needs your words of kindness. Somebody needs to see kindness and how it is demonstrated and how it is lived out. Somebody needs your love right now, not from the flesh, but from the Spirit of God, holiness. Somebody needs to understand what real forgiveness is. Real forgiveness is when you can actually forgive the adversary that came to put hell in your space to make you feel like that, listen, there is no way out, or that, those particular things that came to be presented to you, that as if it did not have a solution. I'm here to tell you, friends, that God is all powerful. When we begin, and when I say we, the individual that need to hear this message, when you begin to walk in that power and authority that God left you, everything changes for your good. No weapon can form against you can prosper, and every tongue that shall rise up against you in judgment shall be condemned. And I want you to understand, you're not just wrestling, okay, with those flesh and the bloods, but the things that's in the spiritual atmosphere that come to contradict God blessings that is over your life. I want you to know that God loves you. There is more power and grace and mercy and kindness and in love and that power to forgive. I'm telling you, it's a game changer, okay? And it definitely do what it need to do. Thank you so much, friends. Well, I realize it is my time and things, and I appreciate everyone that have came here. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. When I say I appreciate you, okay? Peace, light, and love unto you, and have a good day on purpose, because you can. Thank you so much. Thank you.